Dumpster Divas. What's good? What's good? What's good, y'all? Happy. What's today? Friday. It's Friday. Y'all, I have been in a whirlwind of a time capsule of a week. I don't really know how to describe it. I last weekend my family was here. Our Kicks and I's family was here. We then had Cowboy Carter on Sunday, and then I had like a shortened work week because of Memorial Day, and then I went back to Cowboy Carter again last night. And tomorrow I'm heading to Palm Springs. Guys, who am I? Who am I? No, I feel very blessed to be able to do all these things. So I am excited. I never drink on these lives, but I wanted to have a little cheers to a wonderful week. I feel very fortunate for all of y'all being here and members of the dumpster. And yeah, just want to do a little cheers to everyone. I really appreciate everyone's support. You guys have all continued to be amazing, and I don't know. I'm feeling a little emo today about all you guys offer to me, and I just want to say thank you. So, cheers to y'all. Cheers to that. As Mary M. Cosby says, cheers to that. And let's talk some shit. Um, it's kind of a slow week, to be honest. I mean, my week has not been slow. My week has been cuckoo bananas. But the in terms of Bravo news, in terms of things like that, I mean, there's not a lot going on. Um, but we prevail. We prevail. And hi everyone in the chat. Hello, hello. How is everyone doing? I'm so happy. I should be able to pin chats today. Am I gonna be able to do that? Let's see. We'll see what happens. I'm working out some logistics here. Um, but yeah, cheers, cheers, cheers. So I want to get into some hot topics, and then we're gonna chat about the Summer House reunion, and then we're gonna get to some listener questions. Okay, so if you have a question in your cabeza, put it in the chat, or DM it to me on Instagram at the Tom Hamlet. And if you are listening to this, not today, if you're watching this not today, a reminder: some business things. You can follow the Dumpster Dive YouTube channel at youtube.com/dumpster dive pod. You can follow me on Instagram at the Tom Hamlet. We have at least 2 episodes coming at y'all every week, a live and a regular recap episode. Summer House is ending, and we are going to transition to some new things. One of which being some throwback coverage that's going to come back here in the next couple weeks. There's a lot going on. So yeah, if you are listening to the audio version of this on your podcast platform, come over to YouTube. All videos of everything on your podcast platform is here. And I have to, guys, I have to pat myself on the back. I do think it looks for me being a one-man band over here, I think it looks pretty nice. So do come check it out. Besides the fact that you can see my suitcase behind me. I'm literally gonna be like yeah, so that's just some business things. Also rate us 5 stars, Dumpster Dive. We get some people leaving some reviews lately. Y'all, and maybe they'll hear this and maybe they won't. You know what? I'm not going to do it. Never mind. All I'm going to say is this is a free podcast and I can talk about politics whenever I want. Okay, so we're going to move on to some pop culture news. But give us a 5-star review so the review I am alluding to will disappear. The news of the week. So I do want to start with something, this hasn't really come up a lot in the Bravo sphere as much as I feel like it should this week, because I found it to be actually pretty shocking. And I texted it to a friend of the pod, Nor, and she was deeply not like shocked by it. I don't know why this really took me back, but Ariana Bierman, as we know her of Kim Zolciak fame, Kim Zolciak's at one point youngest daughter. We all were the youngest at one point. She has since had so many kids. But in my mind, I don't know about y'all, but in my mind, there's two. There's 2 kids. There's not 7. And I made that number up. I could be wrong about that. In my mind, it's always been 2 and always will be 2. And that's Brielle and Ariana, the 2 divas that were in the townhouse. Where a place for legends, as Gia Gunn would say. Woo, I'm feeling crazy today. Yeah, so Ariana Bierman, mm, days, days away from her triumphant return to Bravo that no one asked for, has been sentenced to 2 years of probation slash what's it called? I almost said customer service. Guys, what is it called? Community service. Community service. She is joining the customer service team at Bravo for 2 years. No, she's doing community service for 2 years for a DUI. Now, I'm sorry, y'all. A couple things. One, in the same way that there's only two children to me, I thought she was like a child. A DUI. Isn't this show about like kids in the city? Was she underage when she got the DUI? These are questions that I probably could have answered myself before I logged on here, but I'm kind of just speaking this out into the ether. But I found this to be shocking. The fact that like she's about to go celebrate her television premiere um, with with a anklet on that beeps. Like, can she go to the premiere? Can she drink? Maybe she stopped drinking. I don't know. I found it to be shocking. It's hard to drink and do the live when there's no one to like fill the space. So I am gonna take a sip of wine. I'm having an orange wine today. Do you guys have orange wine ever? I like it because it makes me feel like a trendy piece of shit. Um, but is it good? I don't. You know, I don't know if it's good. Jury's still out on that. But we are getting wine and pizza later, Brian and I. Next on the list of hot topics I want to hit, we have Zach and Jen Affleck from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. A reminder, if you have not watched Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Chelsea and I did an extra long podcast episode all about the entirety of season 2 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I honestly think you could listen to it without like having seen the show. The storylines are so basic, and Chelsea and I are deeply troubled. So we just really go on tangents and talk about religion and politics and misogyny and the patriarchy. Cheers to that. So go check that out. But Zach and Jen Affleck, so they are the couple. If you miss the second season, they're the couple from the first season that she went to a Chippendales show. He went and gambled all of their college money away, and instead of her getting mad at him for gambling all of the med school money away, he got mad at her for going to a Chippendales show. They split, got back together on the show on season 2. They got pregnant. They went on the y'all. I try. Every week I think to myself, am I rid of Nick Viall? And I never am. I never am. They went on Viall Files, and so much happened there. Zach says that he thinks of the kids as Jen's kids, not his own, and also that he got tricked into having another baby because she pulled out her IUD and didn't tell him. Now, I have a couple thoughts here. I think in general, now I have never participated in straight sex. We're off to a crazy start here, kids. I have never participated in straight intercourse, but in my mind, like, it's kind of a mutual responsibility, like, for two consenting adults that, like, if you're gonna, finish, I'm sorry, this is explicit behavior I'm about to exhibit here. If you're gonna finish in someone, even if there are all the right amounts of protection, like, and birth control, there's still always a chance. So you both did it. Like, I'm sorry. When it comes to two consenting adults, right? Like, I just think that these two consenting adults had sex and they're having a baby and they're married. They're married. Do I think it's shady that she took the IUD out and didn't tell him? I don't know. Because these ladies, the line of like bodily autonomy is very blurred. Like, they don't really know how to they haven't been given the opportunity to have bodily autonomy. So I don't know. It's all a little confusing to me, to be honest. I would love to hear what y'all's thoughts are. If you like, do you think it's shady to take the IUD out? If you think he should shut the fuck up, in the words of Ego on SNL, I don't know if you guys have seen this, the stand-up sketch. She does a character from the like 90s stand-up comedians of lore, and one of the things she says is men ain't what shit. So you know, Rona, I believe I'm saying that right, in the chat says, I don't trust anything Zach says. You know what? You're right. I took this conversation too far. He probably knew it went in one ear, out the other. He was probably playing online slot machines when she said that she took her IUD out. Um, Evelyn says, I think Zach is awful, but I do think she should have informed him that she took her IUD out. I also agree with that. Um, Zach now has therapy speak to help him manipulate. Okay, so I have this theory that TikTok is making everyone believe that they are in therapy because they learn what words like gaslight, manipulate, um there was another false narratives came up a lot on my TikTok this week. It's like, guys, just because you get to learn a new therapizing term doesn't mean you've been therapized. And this is as someone who needs therapy and isn't in it. But I'm just gonna say, like, that doesn't mean you've been therapized. So yeah, I agree. I agree. I do think he's using therapy slang. And I think all of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Mom Talk crew, heavy on the therapy slang. They love to say gaslight. They love to say victim. All those things. It's like sometimes you kind of fucked up. We all fuck up. I don't think I can. YouTube hasn't taken any of my videos down for cursing yet, so I'm going to forge ahead. But YouTube, let me know if I can say fuck up. So yeah, that was crazy. Crazy. And then lastly, Love Island is premiering. I am definitely going to cover Love Island USA on the podcast, I believe, because while I do like UK, I feel like USA, more people are watching just here in our world, like our universe here. I'm not going to recap it like every day, but I'll touch on it. I'm going to keep up and make sure that you guys know everything that's going on with those characters, because Love Island USA last summer, it kept my summer like going. It was one of the few things I had to look forward to when I laid my head on my couch pillow. So we'll definitely be chatting about that. It premieres on Friday or Saturday, I believe. Wait, no, that's not true. Yeah, next Friday. Wait, I believe it comes out June 7th. When is that? No, sorry. I'm sorry. It comes out June 3rd. June 3rd is, drumroll, that's Tuesday. So I'm definitely going to watch it on Tuesday. You should watch it too. And we'll chat about it next week. One more housekeeping thing before we get into Summer House, the reunion, is that we will not have a regular podcast episode next week. I will be in Palm Springs, laying by a pool without a microphone. So we will have a new episode of my other show, Good Judy's, if you want to check that out. So make sure to subscribe to Good Judy's. Okay. So, but we will have a live next week. We will have a live. Don't you fret. Wait, Mary said something. Oh, Mary, hi, Mary. Your first comment here in the chat. Mary says, cannot wait for the wild covers of pop songs on Love Island. It's so good. I agree. And they always like put it at the most weird places. They're like, I just don't know that I can be with you anymore. And then all of a sudden a cover of Beyonce's I care. I know you won't care too much, but I still care. Yeah, that's Love Island for you. Wait, guys, also, do you like my shirt? Let me see. It's Mariah. It's a vintage Mariah shirt. It's so very me coded. It's like one of my favorite shirts. Mariah drinking a glass of wine, holding her cell phone, walking. I bought this at the I've seen Mariah live, I think 3 times. It just feels very dumpster dive. No, I feel like it does. Mary says, hearing a slowed down 90s pop song while someone crashes out over a trash man. Chef's kiss, Mary. I agree, is why we love Island. I'm excited. Except apparently, I mean, to no one's shock, there are two Trumpers on there that are very like publicly Trumpers, and everyone's tearing them up in the comment section. It's pretty great. So I bet you they will go because in the end, Love Island relies on the audience. So if they don't like you, they don't like you. Okay, well, let's get into Summer House. Okay, so the reunion. You guys, I don't know if we're gonna cover next live. We're probably just gonna recap Bravo because I'll have been gone, and then the week after that, we'll jump into throwback coverage and other stuff. But you know, this reunion was tough to get through. I don't know how y'all felt about it. Please once again hit us in the chat with stuff. I think the show I really love the show. I will always love the show. There's something about it that is a comfort watch to me. I could watch these people at that house year round. I find it endlessly entertaining. The characters are great. I also think I think it's so fun to talk about the show because the drama there are no scandals. And I posted a TikTok or a reel about this, how Bravo is so scandal focused now. And they're trying to make like the Jesse Lexi thing into a scandal. And in the end, that's not a scandal at all. But that's that. If everyone collectively took it less seriously, it would be so fun to talk shit about. But I think people just take it so seriously, all of the inner workings of these people, because we're constantly like looking for the next like big scandal. And in the end, these people are just like messy hot people. And that's why I love the show. But I do think we are hitting some road bumps with someone named Sierra. Now, I have a long time been Sierra defender, and I want to mention that we can people hold multitudes. It's crazy. It's crazy to say. People hold multitudes, and I do think Sierra got fucked over by West. I also think Sierra needs to get over it. I'm sorry. I gotta be tough love here. We are now at the time of filming this reunion. We are now over a year away from the demise of their relationship, and I understand you have to talk about it to a certain extent because that is a part of the show. But y'all, like, she is still so incredibly hurt by it when literally next to her is Carl Radke, who is sitting across from his ex fiance, who is now has since had a baby since they broke up their engagement. And meanwhile, if you think about timeline, West and Sierra continued dating after Carl and Lindsay split their engagement. So like they're like it's just crazy to think that like they probably dated for 3 months after that, and they still have so much resentment while Carl and Lindsay can kind of exist normally. I don't know. I just can't believe we're still talking about everything that went down with West. And I have to also say that like I think Sierra just is a little too guarded and kind of curated for this show anymore. Like Paige needs to talk to her about like what it means to like really be a authentic but like elevated presence on reality TV, because Paige is so real about everything that's going on in her life, but she elevates every scene she's in. She knows where the camera is, she knows how to perform, but she's still being honest. And I think that's where Sierra loses me, because she was so honest in this reunion about things about her life and about relationships and all that. And it's just kind of like, girl, this is your 6th season on this show, and I feel like we don't know any of this about you. And you're still struggling with these men. She's dated so many men on this television program. She came on the show with Luke. She then dated Austin. She didn't dated West. And then now she has like a will they won't they with Jesse. And it's like, just date someone off the show. Jesus. It's not working. And Sierra, if you ever get to this, I really like you. Like, I actually think you are a great person, and I think you'd be a really great friend. I just think there's a disconnect right now with everything that's happening on the show, and I'm not really totally getting it. And then we have the Lexi and Jesse situation. And See, Lexi and Jesse, once again, like I said, I don't care about them. The big reveal, though, here that I cannot believe it never came up, never once came up in the show, is that the women in the room where Jesse went to go get his toe sucked were naked. I gotta sip my wine on that. Yo, what? That's crazy. And like they weren't together, so he doesn't. I don't really. I'm team. He doesn't owe Lexi much of anything except an honest conversation about what happened because they were just beginning to start talking. But at the same time, like you got to be honest about what happened. The ladies were naked. That is so beyond. I actually do not know how and why that didn't come up when the show was filming or when they were in their interview chairs. Crazy to me. And then we have uh, Emerald comes in like a little bit later, maybe like 30 minutes into the episode. And I have like some real sadness around Emerald. And, you know, okay, I have, this isn't really a blind, I mean, I guess it is a blind item. I am friendly with, and they are a listener of this podcast, of someone who has been a producer on some shows on the network that we cover here on Dumpster Dive. And this person said to me that they have been a part of seasons where there were situations with cast members that like they throw everything at the wall with casting and then they kind of like as the show is going feel out what's happening, and if someone's not working they'll just kind of start to like take note of that and maybe just start to remove their storyline from the show. These shows are so heavy in terms of storylines and people. Like it's not like we're following season, what was it? Season 4 of New Jersey where there's 4 women. Like this show has, I mean, I don't know the exact number, but we have like what 10 people I believe in this show. And there's a lot of intermingling like storylines within it. And so I think by the back half of this season, what I've learned is that perhaps there just wasn't much to highlight. And so that's why he was removed. I do stand on the fact that it feels like a lot of work to remove someone from group shots. That confuses me. I don't like that necessarily. It's just weird. And they did this with Alex. I don't know if you guys remember Alex from a couple seasons ago. We have this male slot in Summer House. The women tend to stick around for a couple seasons, but the men, we have so many one season wonders that just never work. I think there's like 6 of them. And I don't know what it is. Maybe we would just stop casting men on the show or just bring people that are authentically friends with Carl and Kyle. But I think that in terms of the show, the storyline just started to kind of only become about one thing, and that was the orgy, and it just kind of stopped being interesting. But I also feel bad for him a lot because I think that it's in the same way it's like that was your only storyline and then we removed you because like we got to get to the other storylines. Also though, that means that's your only storyline. And so then you are now known as the orgy beast or whatever they said, orgy king, I don't know. And that's fucked up. And y'all, Emerald got disinvited to his nephew's birthday party because they didn't want him there because he's known as this like sexual deviant on Bravo, quote unquote. I'm quote unquote. He's not a sexual deviant. And y'all, there is something so it's something to do with the patriarchy, and it's gonna take me a second to like get to my point. So bear with me. I'm gonna drunk uncle here for a second. I just think that there's something about men and women, anyone who is a part of consensual, like active sex lives, we auto go to slut shaming when they're open about it. But when they are secretive about it, especially straight men, it's like cool. like in locker room talk, it's cool to be like, yeah, I like hook up with all these girls. But then like the second you like are open about the fact that you like are very sexually active in a very healthy way, in a very respectful way, it grosses people out. And I'm like, why are we all so disgusted with our bodies sexually as sexual beings, and also disgusted with the way that like the world perceives sexuality? I don't know. There's a lot here because like in the gay world, like I know so many of my friends are in open relationships. I have friends in thruples. I have friends that participate in orgies, and they live very healthy, happy lives. It's not like an undercover, dark-seated society. And I just think it's really weird that these women and men on the show are so grossed out by his behavior. Specifically, and I do really like her, I think there's something off about Amanda's reaction to everything he did. She's so rude about it. And like, it's like, Amanda, part of me is like, are you just not like, do you feel that you are not getting fulfilled sexually in your relationship, and maybe that's why you are struggling to support someone being so sexually active? Because all of her reactions in this reunion were so mean. She was like, "Yeah, well, that's all you did. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot." And then he reveals the sad story about how he got disinvited to his nephew's birthday, and then everyone was like, "Oh no, that's so bad." And I have to tip my hat to Lexi. She says something so wonderful. She says to him, she's like, "Emerald, I have to be honest. I think we should have asked you more questions." I was like, "Wow, that's such a nice thing." Well, I mean, in hindsight, I mean, yeah, you should have, but like, it is a very nice realization that she made. I think Lexi is very aware of like the cool girls, and she's not in it, and she wants to be on the show still, and she's just being pretty honest about all of that. So I I thought that was a pretty cool moment for Lexi. Um, yeah, Evelyn says lots of shame in society. We were conditioned this way. We have to do work to see through our conditioning. That's what being an adult is, honestly. And that's not me talking down at you, Evelyn. I'm saying this just like to everyone. Like, I think we, I think sometimes we decide that we know everything and that we will never learn anything new. I think there's a lot of people in the world that live like that, and they get used to their bubbles. You have to constantly be conditioning your brain to relearn things based on new perspectives, based on people you meet in life. Like, that's just life. And some people are not interested in doing that. And it only makes you ugly on the inside to be so closed off. So, wow, I just TED talked, y'all. Y'all, once again, this is weird drinking with no one to talk to. So I'm going to take a sip. Well, honestly, that is kind of the reunion. The only other thing, well, Evelyn's here with me. We got a back and forth breaking down the patriarchy. Evelyn says, "I think a lot of shame around sexuality comes from religion, the patriarchy, and it has been used for control." I think that is a great place to end our summer cap recap on. I'm sorry this was such a short recap, but we're gonna dive into some listener questions now. There just wasn't that much that happened, y'all. I know. Also, back to business things. We are going to cover America's Next Top Model, um, America's Next Top Model season, I believe cycle 6, the season where they go to Thailand. We're gonna cover that here on the podcast. That will be coming to you soon. I'm gonna make it a really like nice YouTube series. So a lot of editing. It's not gonna be a live like this. It's gonna be a lot of like um solo recaps of me talking about the show. So do start watching that. I believe all of America's Next Top Model is streaming on Amazon Prime. So go check that out. And I am going to pull up some questions. If you guys have questions, please put them in the chat. It is question time. Where is my Instagram questionnaire? Here we go. Sar. Okay. Kendrick writes, fuck, Mary kill. Simon, this is fuck, Mary kill, Real Houses of Atlanta. Oh, Katya, will you make space in the schedule for Miami? We will cover Miami fully on like regular podcast episodes. So yes, there will be regular Bravo coverage still, and Miami will absolutely be a part of that. So no stress there. Back to the question. Fuck Mary Kill Atlanta style. Simon, Ralph, and Peter Thomas. Those are demons. Those are demons. All demons across the board. I'm gonna have to say I would have sex with who would I hook up with? Simon, Ralph. I'd probably hook up with Ralph. Actually, this is easier than I think. I'm gonna hook up with Ralph. I'm gonna marry Peter, and he's gonna talk down to me the whole time. I'm sure of it. And then Simon, I mean, he's unfortunately detained. So, yeah. There's not much to say about that. Okay, next one. We have as a nod. This is from Steph. As a nod to Kyle Cook, what was your easy go-to drunk late night snack? Oh, that's a good question. What was my drunk late night snack? Um. Oh, Katya, did Kendrick submit his answers? He didn't. I bet you he's gonna do my same thing though. I know he's not fucking with Simon. So sorry, back to late night snack. My late night snack. I'm not like a huge like munchy person. Like I like to snack like when I'm litty titty. I said that like so straight faced. When I'm litty titty, no, I'm not a huge late night snack person all the time. But what really hits, I mean, obviously Dom Domino's. Who am I? I mean, Domino's hits. Additionally, I would like to also throw into the ring an assorted chip. My friend Olivia from college, shout out to Olivia. She often says that she calls it Dorito salad, where you take sweet chili, you take Cool Ranch, and you take spicy nacho, and you put them all in a bowl. Shake it up, Dorito salad. It hits. Um, Anything else? Yeah, it's really pizza or chips, I would say. I like sweets like during the week a lot. Like I always like a like sweet treat after dinner, but I don't go to sweets when I've had a couple beverages. So yeah. Let me know what y'all's are. I would love I also love like this is really trashy. Is it? I'm proud of it. I love a taquito. Trader Joe's makes really good taquitos. They're so just like nothing, but like anything that's a vessel for sauce. Vessels for sauce. Like pizza is a vessel for ranch. Any sort of Mexican food is a vessel for hot sauce. So that's my thoughts on that. Next we have any advice for people going to see Cowboy Carter? I hear it's a lot of people's first Beyonce concert. I would love to talk about this. I know that all of y'all want to murder me for talking so heavily about Beyonce over the last couple weeks. But yeah, I so she has been very consistent about timing. She's been going on right at 8 p.m. So make sure you get to the stadium. I always say you get to the stadium shows like 2 hours before the artist goes on because like you want to like get your merch, you want to get your snacks, you want to get a drink, and you want to be able to like sit and not feel rushed and make sure you're like in your seat in time for the concert to begin. We tried to play everything a little run. What's the right terminology? We're a little fast and loose with when we saw Kendrick Lamar a couple weeks ago, and we missed the first song because we were in the merch line. So did not do that for Beyonce. We made sure to get there early and get our spots and get settled. So that's a timing thing. I would do that. I also feel that you should take minimal photos and videos. Spend so much of your time with your phone in your pocket, taking in just the experience. Like, even if you're with a group of people, make a rule. It's like every 30 minutes we trade who does the filming because in the end like you can just share your videos with each other. Like last night I probably took like 4 or 5 videos and then the rest I just wanted to be in it. It's so fun to be like Kix said this to me and this is like kind of dark but also beautiful. She was like it feels amazing to just be alive right now and to be able to like witness this woman do what so many like have tried to do and were shut down by the industry, were shut down by um, so many different obstacles, and she has prevailed, and she is, in the words of Beyonce, she is one of one. So I really have to tip my hat to Beyonce, and I have to tip my hat to all those who make the choice to be a little offline during it, because it really is worth it. Do capture though I mean, when she she comes around on a car and you can make eye contact with her. I was phone up, but find those moments to really just be in it, because it's worth it. And yeah, it's an amazing show, y'all. If you can get a ticket for, I believe the U.S. shows she has left are Atlanta, D.C., and Vegas. If you can go. Oh yes, and Katya put this in the chat, but my mom got to see Beyonce for the first time, and it was really special. If you guys are fans of Beyonce or Cowboy Carter, there's a song on that album, on the album called "Protector," about Beyonce being a protector for her children, and getting to see Beyonce like 50 feet from us sing that song, and Mom Kicks and I all like had our arms around each other. It was like a really beautiful, special moment. We're very lucky to have such a supportive and loving family, and Mom is a rock star. She's the best. Mary says, "Would love to hear about your mom's experience." Yeah, I'll have her send in a voice note. I'll play it on the show. For the first night, I have to be honest though, we had some issues with the pit we were in. So the pit we were in one of the side pits, and there were some gays in front of us that we were friendly with at first, and they started to piss me off. I was like, y'all, they were like all 6'2" and wearing cowboy boots, so they were so tall, and there were a lot of times that they blocked our view of Beyonce, and I just wish that I had not been so nice and been like, can you please stand behind us because we can't see anything. So, but yes, a beautiful fam moment. We had a really great time, and Noor was at both shows I was at. We got to see each other at the first show. We both went last night, but there was like not really time for us to like say hey, because we got there just in time for the show to get started, and you know. So yeah, I believe there's one more question, and then I will send you all on your way. Thoughts on Zach referring to the kids as Jen's kids on Vile Files (parentheses Secret Lives of Mormon Wives). Yeah, I mean, he's fucked up. He's terrible. He's terrible. I can't stand the man, and he also looks terrible. Mary says, I'm seeing her in ATL and cannot wait. Oh my gosh, you are going to have the best time. Next tour, I'm like, should I like bop around and see her in different cities? I'm crazy, y'all. I'm crazy. Cuckoo crazy. Cuckoo crazy for Beyonce. If you don't know, I have a Beyonce tattoo. I have the Renaissance tattoo back here. See? It's her going. Yeah. So I just showed you some of my body. I showed you my shirt. I bared my soul to you about my family, seeing Beyonce. And we talked really deep today about sexuality in the patriarchy. That brings us to the end of our live. It does. It does. I love you guys. Y'all are the best. Cheers to everyone. I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful weekend. A wonderful weekend. And I do want to remind you all to follow the podcast on your podcast platform. Rate it, review it. Make sure you subscribe here on YouTube at youtube.com/dumpsterdivepod. The subscribes and the views really, and the likes and the comments, all of that really helps the YouTube grow, and it helps people. It helps the videos show up on other people's feeds, and then then I become famous. So, and that's the goal. So, thank you guys for your support. I do love all of y'all in the chat. Y'all are the best. We're gonna play some outro music, and I'm gonna dance and drink my wine. And I love y'all. And once again, no regular Dumpster Dive episode, just a live next week. See you guys later. Bye.